Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Imran bin Muhammad Hayazi. Today, our group gonna discuss about Toyota company. This is one of the table of contents. For section A, identify the damage and failure at Toyota. Section B, the 8 HR processes that contribute to Toyota downfall. Section C, lesson learned from Toyota, and do you think Toyota succeed because of its team-oriented culture, or do you think it would have succeed without it? Section D, do you think you would be comfortable working in Toyota culture? Why or why not? So for question 1, identify the damage and failure at Toyota.
Okay, my name is Nur Hashima binti Abdul Rajak, so I will explain a little bit about Toyota. Okay, so Toyota is a Japanese multinational automotive manufacturer. It was founded by Kiichiro Toyoda and incorporated on August 28, 1937. Toyota is one of the largest automobile manufacturers in the world, and it produces about 10 million vehicles per year, with its headquarters in Toyota City, Aichi, Japan. First and foremost, to answer question 1, identify the damage and failure at Toyota. What has been the history of Toyota's damage and failure? Actually, Toyota have had a previous failure which began in October 2009 with the announcement of a huge recall of their manufacturing cars in the United States. So why Toyota makes such a huge decision that may break their company image? There must be a reason that forced them to recall as much as 3.8 million US vehicles. The real reason is, in a variety of versions, the produced car had poorly placed or improper floor mats under the driver's seat, which could lead to uncontrolled acceleration. This might result in an accident which would damage their company's image because they created faulty vehicles, of course. And in the instance of Toyota, there were clear signs that the company's product quality had deteriorated in recent years. Furthermore, the improvements happened at a time when several of Toyota's competitors, like Nissan, BMW, and Honda, were manufacturing increasingly superior vehicles at that time. In this situation, investigators must assess whether the employee's human error was caused by causes beyond his or her control. For example, senior management activities, a lack of proper knowledge or job training, defective process inputs, and so on. And for your information, Toyota have recalled their products more than once. The first recall was on 2nd November 2009 and the second was on 21st January 2010. At first, the recall was issued to address a potential intrusion of an erroneous or out-of-place front driver's side floor mat into the foot pedal well, which might result in pedal entrapment. Meanwhile, the second recall was launched after it was discovered that certain accidents were not caused by floor mat inversion. And according to Business Week, Toyota is losing $155 million every week as a result of the latest recall, and Toyota's stock value had dropped by roughly $30 billion in the weeks leading up to this piece. The core factors that lead to Toyota's current crisis could cost the corporation hundreds of billions of dollars in the long run. So that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you Nur. So next we proceed to question 2. The 8 HR processes that contribute to Toyota downfall.
Okay, my name is Adawiya binti Muhammad Khairi, and I'm going to give an explanation and my opinion towards question 2. So, I would say that Toyota company is a worldwide company, but because of their human resource management weak, made this company downfall. In my view, cause of the problem Toyota is facing a failure by employees to make good decisions, confront negative news, and make a convincing business case for immediate action. So there are 8 HR processes that can lead their company's success. The first one is reward and recognition. Personally thinking, Toyota company is irresponsible about their employee and just focus about their sales company only. They ignore problem about safety on automobile. Furthermore, reward and recognition is that running by HR were not effective, and the reward demonstrating errors result is high that obvious errors were swept under the table. This is why the company losing million money and downfall. When the company does not reward managers only against maintaining products quality, it creates incentive for anyone concerned to skip statistics and to deny that there is problem in the organization itself. So, reward is the way that your employees understand that their employers have valued what they do and how they behave. So, well-trained workers and situations should be rewarded with a balanced and overall performance monitoring system so they will no longer allow such conditions to occur. The second one is training. It seems obvious that Toyota is famous with four steps, which is plan, do, check, and act. HR of this company will surely that every employee must do their own work correctly and can handle it one by one. But employee also a human who will make a mistake whether intentionally or unintentionally. That is why they need a good and strong training to every employee, especially to a new employee. In my opinion, if Toyota train is more effective, the manager should have to convince executive to receive negative information and not to ignore them. This is because Toyota is a big company and has great influence on all other car companies such as Honda, Nissan, Mitsubishi, and good training can reinforce the skills and handles all the problems that arise calmly. And managers should be responsible for motivating, directing employees and giving instruction and training employees. This is because Toyota company need to train employees to be more disciplined in doing the job so they do not make the same mistake every day. Third is hiring. It seems likely Toyota actually has poorly designed hiring process that allowed it to hire individuals who were not experienced in the required constructive confrontation technique. And we also know that Toyota as an automobile company is very important about safety and needs professional experience to do all their activities. This is because they need to supply a safe product to the customers. And we also found that employees who are well trained to balance reward and performance monitoring system would not have allowed the situation to grow as it did. So hiring is very important process because an automobile company is required to have an experienced and skilled employee along with their tasks. For example, if you choose someone who doesn't have experience at all, it will affect your company in the future. The fourth is the performance management process. As we know, Toyota is losing 155 million per week and has lost nearly 30 billion in stock valuation. From the case study, we can relate that the mechanical to Toyota leaders long before corrective action was taken, and many close to the issue are indicating that the company took decisive action to hide the facts. This becomes difficult because they do not follow job instruction correctly and ignore the scope of work and that has been given by the five superiors. If the problem persists, the Toyota company will suffer a big loss and will probably go bankrupt. And HR does not need to develop sophisticated metrics that produce alerts to warn senior managers because they do not have a good plan to handle the problem. So, by improving employee engagement and improving company productivity, performance management help boost a company profitability while keeping everyone happy. Fifth is Toyota failed to measure or monitor. The fifth is the corporate culture. Toyota failed to measure or monitor the corporate culture contribute to its misalignment. This is because Toyota do not care about corporate culture. For them, the problem is too small to handle and should not be emphasized in the company. Manager needs to monitor employees in doing jobs so they do not work at will. Non-structural job will cause the company to incur huge losses in the future. Toyota so biased toward positive information that employees learn not to make wave in spite of their professional responsibility to be heard on safety issues. Based on case study, the role of a corporate culture is to informally drive employee behavior so that it is closely adheres to the company core values. In the company, safety issues are crucial so that they can help the employees when they are overwhelmed by the workplace. Therefore, every employee must be given safety insurance by their respective employer. A strong culture, a strong culture in which members agree upon and care intensely about organizational value can improve business performance by motivating employees and coordinating their behavior towards a version and specific performance goal that benefits the company. Okay. The sixth is leadership development and succession. My opinion for this is the leadership process at Toyota so outdated that it produced the wrong kind of leaders with outdated competencies. According to the cultural changes, the automotive industry will change rapidly every year, and the failure of Toyota company is when they are not updated on what they are doing and their leadership process is the same. For example, mechanical failure is known to Toyota leaders before the best action is taken, and much closer to this issue indicates that the company take action to conceal the facts. This will getting worse if the leaders take easier with their job or the team get in trouble, and all production from Toyota company will cannot fix the problem. So leader is a role model to the whole team. We have to working together and complete all the assessment. HR at Toyota company needs practice to be a good leadership. This is because all members in one team can get clear instruction and make a good decision for the whole team. And seven is retention. In this process, the retention program ignores people that brought up problems that make Toyota become worse, and whistleblowers exactly give out of precision to their company. Whistleblower defines that a person who informs on a person or organization regarded as engaging in an unlawful and or whistleblower defines that a person who informs on a person or organization regarded as engaging in an unlawful or immoral activity. HR must keep away employees who have bad attitude to ensure a positive environment in the company. To make higher performance start from the employees, employees need to be honest and have responsibilities with their work. This process actually is very important to see employees' performance, so HR needs to monitor everything that employees need. Because whistleblower is really dangerous to the company because they can steal every data of information in the Toyota company. If company do not take it seriously and ignore this problem can get more difficult to fix it. So HR need to move aggressively to find out who the best to keep in this company. This is for keep company safe from losing more profit and bankruptcy. And the last is risk assessment. In my opinion, this should be done by HR where they need to work with risk expert and build on the ability to identify and measure the impact of major HR error earning, include high rates of hiring, high turnover rates among the highest pays, and cost for keeping managers or bad people working. This is because HR has more alignment about what they need to take seriously and find out where their own weaknesses are. And for the conclusion is that these 8 process need to be done by HR well, and if they know what's missing, they have to fix it. With this process, they will have employees who may equality to the company or maybe not at all. HR management need to improve and ensure that they have 8 characteristic in their company to make better profit and good environment. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you. So next question is lesson learned from Toyota, and do you think Toyota succeed because of its team-oriented culture, or do you think it would have succeed without it?
Hi, my name is Jannah Tunisa binti Jumaat, and for the third question is that I will tell the lesson learned from Toyota. The first is give the employees reward. Reward is one of the vital components to spur representatives to contribute their best individuals to create development thought that lead to a better trade usefulness and further improvise fiscally and non-financially the company's execution. Where rewards are distributed based on objective information, representatives are more likely to see the method as reasonable and more likely to have a concrete understanding of what is anticipated of them. This will increase their motivation to attain the required execution results. But in the case the company never give workers any remunerate, it will cause representatives to act late to the issues confronted. For instance, when the organization excessively compensated director for cost containment versus maintaining item quality, it made the motivation for all included to disregard the fact and deny a issue existed. Second, provide trainings for employees. Representatives who feel lacking or unsupported are despondent. They are not satisfied with their work, which is able cause them to underperform, make vouchers and don't care about their work item. That cause trade in misplaced time and cash. Untrained employees can cause numerous of vouchers and these vouchers and wasteful aspect can cause your business to lose clients. That's the most noticeably awful conceivable situation, but it can happen. In, it is in this manner very important to have compelling preparing that can be utilized to upskill or multi-skill your employees. This is because upskilling is the process of training people in new or related job areas to increase their usability within the organization, whereas multi-skilling is the process of teaching employees in new or related work areas to increase their usability within the company. Toyota, for example, is known for its four-step cycle plan, but it is evident that management training should now focus more on that latter two steps. Furthermore, in high-risk situations, everyone should have been trained on how to recognize the signs of group thinking and how to avoid discounting or disregarding unfavorable external safety information. For the last one, manage the company intelligently. The ability to successfully manage a firm is critical to its establishment and growth. Examining the marketplace climate and creating employment and profit opportunities that give the business with prospective development and financial viability is the key to successful management. It is difficult for us to do everything on our own. It is also inefficient because getting the proper people to do the correct job is more productive. Successful businesses begin with the ability to bring people with diverse abilities together to operate as a team, recruit high-quality employees with complementary abilities and organize them as efficiently as possible, encourage and motivate our employees to think for themselves. Toyota's difficulties are the result of a company-wide succession of blunders that are the all tied to one another rather than a single individual making an isolated mistake. There were so many company activities involved, including customer service, government relation, vendor management, and public relation, that no one can blame Toyota's failure on a lack of systematic management. And I think Toyota succeed because of its team-oriented culture. Because without teamwork, the organization will not operate well. That's for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jantanisa. So next we go to question 4. Do you think you would be comfortable working in Toyota culture? Why or why not?
Hi, I am Rakila. I would like to say, as me and my group discuss, we would like to say no because we will not be comfortable because the performance of management process, as we can see, there are three primary stages where the company defines their long-term and short-term goals. The first stage is at the organization level, where the management describes the holistic view and defines overall objective or formulation of the company. What are their long-term vision and what are the values of the which they stand for and what is the mission the company is chasing. And then the second stage, there is a prerequisites at department level, where the management assigns target to each department to achieve overall organizational objective. Is it difficult to quantify the behavior against his performance standards? There are a lot of subjectives involved in this category. However, there are a lot of psychometric tools which are support to define and indicate individual behavior and attitude. But research has proven that they are only indicated and not provide absolute answer and authenticate result. Hence, we can define the expected behavior in employees, performance standards during the performance planning and its measurement, but cannot quantify it with data. And then the third, the performance assessment is the next stage, followed by the performance execution. In this phase, the employee and manager both are responsible to measure and assess the performance of employees against his target. The process should comprise to the extent of individual target behavior, comprise to the extent of the individual target behaviors or attitude and special achievement during the performance appraisal cycle. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you. So the conclusion is Toyota is popular for its operation and quality administration framework around the world. Toyota is pioneer within the advancement of successful generation from the collective involvement and experience from other performing artists as well. Efficient survey and usage of move forward framework unquestionably offer assistance to make strides the operation administration and client fulfillment list. In this way, Toyota can progress the quality of items and handle and fulfill the requirements of clients. Orderly usage of quality administration and various devices offer assistance to realize the corporate objectives. So that's all from Group 1. Thank you.